I have not been posting that much lately. I have been guided to continue the learnings and expansion, right? And of course, I'm going to follow instructions because I want to be here and serve you, well. And part of this journey is to go just beyond, information. You know what I mean? Like, we have to really go into introspection, processing knowledge, and finding the wisdom within the experiences, connecting with the heart and the mind, and the part to where we have to seek. Okay, we have to seek for the correct information is very important so that we can bring clarity to the collective, and that's how I roll. Okay, and so yes, I felt very guided to share that so that you know where I stand. We're going to start channeling. Please take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm never here trying to force anything into anyone, okay? You are in entitlement of your life, okay? I'm all about the work because I'm not going to be here selling you fantasies and illusions. We have enough of that around, okay? So first of all, we have reddening. It matches my shirt. Look at this. Okay, so I see the different elements: silver, copper, and then the dark, the black, the moon. We have gold. Look at this yellow and reds and golden. And Mars went back to Leo. We have this energy of the sun very present, right? The process of transmuting pain and hard times into positive and optimistic experiences, and honoring our past through integrating the wisdom within the lessons. You know what I mean? I know you do. So there's this energy of gaining a level of understanding. Okay, I'm also hearing illumination. We have the energy of oil of betrayal, and this is about transmuting resentment, chronic resentment, envy, jealousy, unhealthy comparison, just strong emotions, frustration, anger, right? So we have this process of being able to see the bigger picture and gaining spiritual understanding, integrating the past situations. We have Saturn here too, Saturn and Pluto. I'm feeling guided to take these ones, Saturn and Pluto. So of course we're talking about the scorpionic energies, right? Transformation, lessons, the reflections, the other. Where are we holding on to shame, right? Because if we are holding on to shame and anger, if we are suppressing the beauty within us, then we're going to be hating on others. That's just how it is. We're gonna experience a lot of jealousy and a lot of envy because there's a part of us that always knows that we can become. I'm just gonna leave it as that. Why do I say that we have a part of us that's always speaking to us, telling us, hey, you can do better. Hey, if you're experiencing envy and jealousy, it is because there's something out there for you to look at, right? There's something that needs to be integrated and embrace. And most of the time is the shame, is the pain, is the suppressing, right? Suppression creates depression. And so there is this energy of reconciling to a degree different aspects of ourselves through Pluto and Saturn, a deep spiritual transformation. Let me get the book for this one here. Reddening. Okay. Life force, Kundalini, and blood. The reddening indicates a full expression of the work. Everything is alive. The heart pumps, the cells celebrate, and blood sings in a way through the body. What was dormant has been awakened. What was once considered base is now noble. Aches and pains are integrated. Shadows are acknowledged and interwoven. When the reddening card appears, it signifies health, power, and a climaxing of the work. What lessons have you been learning? This is about overcoming the beliefs, of separation and finding where are we feeling separated within ourselves. Through the process of reddening, we move out of the head and into the physical body. More specifically, we reach the heart. It is there that the alchemists find the sacred ingredients of power and kindness, overcoming the ego. I'm hearing opening our hearts into love by recognizing the different aspects of ourselves within other people. It takes a lot of courage and strength, you know what I mean? To sit with ourselves, to go inward, to take some time and to sit in the quiet and to do our practices, to really find truth, to unveil ourselves, because we have created so many walls. We have created so many ego identities, and we wear a lot of masks, right? We wear lots of masks in order to fit in and in order to navigate the different kind of energies and people that we meet. But at one point, we have to go right within, and we need to ask ourselves, are we approaching relationships, people, friendships, communities from a place of integrity, or are we just playing around wearing different masks and then saying things that we don't mean? Right. So there's this energy, right? Remember, this is just the energy that is available. Now, not everybody is ready to go and do the work. Not everybody is in true seeking to embody and spiritual life. We can talk about spiritual themes. We can talk about, I want to help the world. I want to help the community. I want to create this. I want to create that. But are we becoming what we desire to experience within others? Are we inspiring people is the bigger picture. Are we, or have we cultivate a desire to become, right? It's just very easy to speak about things. And I say that, right, because I'm obviously on a journey too, right? I do take time to I step back and I really see it with myself. I really go into quiet, into solitude. Why? Because I need to connect with all of these aspects of me, right? With the aspect of me that holds Pluto and Saturn, and who has been existing in shame. And this is not just about me, it's about my family. You know what I mean? There are things that are so ingrained within us that we become so veiled, and it takes so much work to be able to sit with it. And right now we have this energy of Chiron, right? And then it's about our wounds. Where are we wounded within the within our personality or our character. Like, who are we? Are we really acting on integrity to who we say we are? And how are we also justifying creating other stories and wearing different masks? This is the truth, you know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to convince ourselves to go into the intellect. However, to go and open the heart, to embrace the pain, to open the heart chakra is super painful. It's an intense process. We just don't open the heart chakra just because you're listening to frequencies and it happens in 2 months. It's just not even about that. There needs to be the whole process, of working from the lower chakras all the way up and to go through the blueprint, the divine timing and the lessons that each planet is bestowing upon us. And so this is, it's a lot of work. And so this is where we at, right? The energy here is inviting us to take accountability, to ask ourselves, where am I still holding on to shame? How am I shaming myself, aspects of myself? How am I deeming myself? However, how am I also restricting myself, limiting myself? Because Pluto wants you to go beyond, right? And Saturn is saying, come on, learn your lessons. You don't have to settle down. You can go beyond. You can go. You have the goal within you. But if we deny ourselves the experiences just because we're acting out of limitations and stories, then we're just gonna find ourselves in our comfort zone. We're gonna find ourselves just doing the same things, justifying the whys we're staying in there, doing the same things and like waiting for things to change. What are we waiting for? All right, so we're gonna just stare now. We have to be aware of the waters of Pisces, the waters of Mercury. Mercury represents the unconscious and also the conscious. And so, a lot of times we're swimming in waters of our own deception, creating our own limitations, creating unnecessary walls just because we're afraid, to go beyond. However, there's a part of us that it knows that we should challenge everything. We have the energy of indolence, and these are the waters that I was talking about. These are the waters of the unconscious. That's the Pisces right there. That's what I'm talking about in Saturn. Right? Where are we dry? How are we shaming aspects of ourselves? How are we shaming aspects of ourselves within others? This is to when we go and gossip and talk about them and we go around, you know what I mean? And we're not coming into the understanding that we're meeting ourselves within them. This is when we're carrying a lot of also actual shame, sexual trauma, abuse, being molested. This is also, to when we have been sharing ourselves, sharing ourselves to many, and we still are carrying all of that within us, and there are holes and openings. Yeah. Ancestral guilt and shame too, because of family members. We had the number 8 of Rahu, right? Saturn again. I'm also hearing a message of discipline, consistency, wounded masculinity, settling down, also hating on the masculine, projecting pain onto our masculine, right? How are we deceiving ourselves? We have the Knight of Disc. So this is energy that is asking us to sit with things before acting. It speaks about the importance of reviewing our foundations, nurturing the body, the physical, also nurturing the intellect with the proper and correct information. The Knight of Disc is not being impulsive. It understands that those waters must come into a place of purification. With the energy of Saturn once again, right? Saturn and Pluto. How are we settling down within our expansion? How are we sitting in our comfort zone? And then there's this energy of stagnancy because the body is waiting, right? The need to cleanse and purify the blood. How are we utilizing also our will? Remember, we are the will. So how are we using it? How are we utilizing our time? We have the card of science. This is the card of Mercury. This is what I'm saying. This is learning, seeking information, preparing, nurturing. Mercury. The Six of Swords. Belief systems that are updated. Masculine and feminine must work together and collaborate. Expansion, introspection. This is mentalism too. The principle of mentalism. What is it that you have been creating? What are you calling in into your life? How do you feel about where you at on your journey? What are the stories you're telling yourself? This is the thing, right? We can be calling in situations from these waters of the unconscious through Mercury, through the shadow of Pisces, through the shadow of also Aquarius or Gemini, Libra. So there's a need to review our foundations. We have adjustment. There we go. It's all about balance, balancing Libra energy, right? Embodiment of virtues. Are we calling in things from our heart, from the green, from a place of balance? Or are we calling in things from a place of resistance to change? And resistance to sit with our pain? We have the lovers, reverse is all a choice. This is the two paths. What are you choosing? Right? Cups and swords. So mind and heart, coherence, making choices and decisions. Spirit, heart, and mind. Conjunction. This is about That's Gemini, and then Leo and Scorpio. What is guiding our choices and decisions? Is it lack, a desire to control? Is it the old ways? Or are we embracing the new? There's a message within the heart. However, we must undergo the process of purification in order to listen. And this is a work that cannot be bypassed. We must bring into marriage the feminine and the masculine. Okay, we're gonna end these messages with archangel messages, okay? So, within the energy, we're being asked to do a life review, to sit in solitude and introspection, to ask ourselves, what is my current situation inviting me to do, or what is the energy that I'm being invited to embrace. We have stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, claim your power, your personal power. We have 5 of Raphael. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. I just got so thirsty. Number 5, where Archangel Sandalphon, divine guidance. The search for a meaningful life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers and friends. There you go. Once again, that energy of learning. We have 9 of Raphael. Make a wish. Dreams come. Oh my God. Dreams becomes a reality. A joyful time of life. Raphael again. Time to make a decision. Be clear on what you want and take action. A need for detoxification. For Ariel, when you give,